change the font colors.
It's 4 o'clock. I think everybody signed in that was here, so we will start.
We lost Mr. Davis.
Well, he doesn't need to be here to approve the minutes. Would you like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And are you giving Lachelle's report?
Laschelle, unfortunately, is not going to be able to make it today. You will have a meeting next month, so she will update you on February, March, April, and May's meeting next month.
Okay. So now we do have time to discuss whatever until Davis comes, right?
Well, actually, while we're doing that,
You can get the back one, right?
I would like to formally introduce you to Mike Bailey. I know you all got the email, but this is him live and in the person. He's a real person. He's going to be here, and he'll be doing your packets and taking care of you, answering any questions that you have. So from this point forward, you guys will want to email him. And I believe I sent that email out to everybody.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
But we're gonna miss you.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that very much.
Okay, so our first case under new business is 47-13 Davis Office Park at 23511 Hollywood Road, tax map 032, parcel 0342. And this is a request for 16 additional parking spaces in the side yard.
That's my kid. Good afternoon. So the applicant is requesting review and approval of 16 additional parking spots along the northern property line adjacent to Building 1, which is the first building on the left as you go into the complex. The proposed parking extends into the building restriction line by approximately 9 feet. The applicant is requesting review and approval of 16 additional parking spots along the northern property line adjacent to Building 1, which the address is 23511. Per Town Code 155-31.b.2, the proposed asphalt and concrete curbing is allowed within the building restriction line. The proposed asphalt and curb is not considered a structure, therefore not considered an encroachment into the building restriction line. The Davis Office Park received final site plan approval from the Planning Commission in October of 2014. The property has 3 existing commercial buildings on site. The site is required to have 102 parking spots, and based on the existing of 30,616 square feet of office space. Per Town Code 155-55, Chart B, the site currently has a total of 140 spaces, which includes 6 handicap spots. The proposed disturbance for the additional parking area is 4,215 square foot. Because this limit of disturbance is less than 5,000 square foot, this site will not be required to provide stormwater management design. To date, the property has met all the requirements of for the existing development. Mr. Davis, or W.M. Davis, has recently built a new building in Hollywood for their own office and is currently in the process of leasing the said building to MedStar St. Mary's. Additional parking would assist MedStar's use of Building 1 for servicing clients and medical staff. I asked the designer, LSR, to add a couple extra items to this plan prior to presenting it to you. I wanted them to place on the plan the existing curb and gutter with spot elevations so that we can ensure the transition from proposed parking area to the existing access road. I just wanted to make sure the access road wasn't going to be impeded on or made smaller. So that's why you have the new set of plans in front of you now. And then I also wanted them to include dimensions so that we could all see it in numbers. I also asked them to provide additional spot elevations from the proposed parking area to the existing stormwater management pond to ensure that the water in the proposed parking area would make it to the stormwater management facility that's existing. Now, I have to say that I did a site visit out there, and once I saw the slope, there's just not an issue as far as getting that water to that pond. So, I did attach several exhibits for you to look at. I tried to give you, as I said, I took pictures of the site. I sketched in where the approximate curb and gutter so you can kind of see it real time. Billy Mahaffey and Mr. Davis is here to answer any questions that you would have. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
How are you relocating the trees?
They'll have to be taken down and the new ones planted.
So not really relocated,
Correct.
they're going to.
How many trees are involved, do you know?
5. Well, we need 5 new
One,
ones.
two,
Yes,
three,
five.
four, five. All these right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, just those.
Trade them with some flowering ones.
You know, some crepe myrtle though.
It does need more parking.
What's that?
It does need more parking.
It doesn't.
It's hard to go there.
It is.
I just have a general question. If there's there's more parking than required, does that mean that the parking requirements need to be revised or something?
No, I would not recommend at this time that they be revised. It's not often that I congratulate developers, but in the case of Wayne, he foresaw that he was gonna need additional parking out there because of what the buildings are being used for.
Mm-hmm.
So he went above and beyond what was originally even required.
Right, that's my point.
Um,
If the requirements are too low,
you know,
then it
well,
requires people to come back and get a second permission to do.
For medical, as a rule of thumb, I mean, I've done a lot of medical buildings, like 7 per 1,000 is still probably a tad short. I think the land, Series County is like 4 per 1,000, I think, you know, but 7. And another part of it, since pandemic, MedStar, their protocol, everybody sits out the daggone car.
Yeah.
You know, so
The
they
COVID.
build up, I mean, and that's part of this. They don't think that's gonna change too much. So it's worried with this, in the mornings, with their jam, that by the afternoon, you know, everybody's gone away. And I told them if we could put a kiosk out there, that people drive by and give blood, we could probably solve the problem.
Probably.
So I do think that in the future, as Leonardtown expands, continues to expand, then looking at our parking regulations might be something worth doing. But as of right now, they're pretty consistent throughout town, and we seem to be doing okay.
I think though,
I
we
think
have,
this is just specialty.
you know, we have buildings that, you know, if you have a requirement of so many parking spaces, which, like you said, he needs for the medical buildings, but then we have a lot of other buildings that we don't need that much. So it sort of seems like we should hit an average and then look at the exceptions as they come up.
Yeah. The way the parking ordinance is written is that it's based on usage of the building. And as we know, sometimes the usage of the building changes over time. We have several different buildings that they started out as maybe a medical building, such as the kidney dialysis center down by McKay's. And they needed quite a bit of parking. Well, now the dialysis center is moving out, and whatever use goes in there is not gonna need all that parking. But once we have it, we're not gonna take it away. So, I mean, maybe a comprehensive look at our parking later on down the road would be worth it, but as of right now, I'm not certain that we're quite to that point to do a comprehensive review. Does that answer your question?
that
Okay.
does.
Yes. State your name.
Billy Mahaffey. I'm with Little Silences Rest now. I've been to this commission many times over the years, you know, with a different firm. But I would just caution you about doing what the county did. The county set a maximum uses that are kind of lumped together, medical needs more office, just standard office.
Yeah.
So they kind of lock you into a maximum number, which is really kind of a mistake, in my opinion. That's all it works. So when you look at that, just kind of keep that in mind. If you look at the county to see what they've done.
Anybody else have any comments or questions?
Nope.
I'm sad about the trees.
Yeah. We're all sad about trees.
He's gonna replace them, Heather. Don't
If you're gonna replace them, that'll be okay.
It's the borax in me.
Well, he's gonna put flowering trees out there maybe.
No, I don't have it. I think it's good. I go to that doctor's office, so, yeah. I know for where were the handicap spots gonna be? Sorry.
They're existing.
I think the two existing are like
So just
on.
but I thought we were
against the building.
increasing handicap spots.
I don't think so.
No,
right?
they already have it.
They already have six.
They already have six.
They already have the 6. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. that would make sense.
If there's no other comments, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the request for case number 47-13, Davis Office Park LLC, for additional parking adjacent to Building 1.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I'll look forward to seeing this one. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll put an extra.
So our other business is all of the review of the in-house permits that were issued. And if anybody has any questions about what was issued or how many.
I did see that you went and met with the Chesaline folks for the car wash, but they still haven't taken that sign down.
Yes, they've been in a couple times, and we're still working on this.
I don't know if Lachelle's gonna talk about this, but how is, I guess, with Joe Curley and the Rex and also social going with their transference to a new building?
So,
I
Joe
see you have it
Curley-
on here.
Yeah, Joe Curley and the Rex, they're working with the architect to get their plans finished for the theater space. They really are looking at more of a nightclub type scene. So there's a lot that goes into the architecturals for that. As of right now, Sean is still looking at moving forward to moving social over to the Duke building first floor. But again, he's waiting on architecturals as well.
I saw that the A&M Glass took out the glass, and so I guess they've ordered new glass for the front,
For the front of.
for the front of Duke's,
Yeah,
because it's all boarded up.
yeah, I would imagine that they're gonna need new glass. Quite a bit of new things are gonna have to go into that building.
Do you have
So
any
it's
idea
already.
when we might hear from the Slice House again?
They took it from.
The Slice House pulled their application
withdrew it.
and decided not to move forward.
So are they gonna take down what's there?
They have until June 1st to
Okay.
remove it. Otherwise, the town will make arrangements to remove it for them, and then the Slice will be billed for the cost of that work. So, unfortunately, that's something that I'm leaving for Mike to take over for me, but he's been fully briefed, so he knows what to do.
Well, do you know what's happening on the Bell property that's across from the Slice House?
Is that where the townhouse is reported?
Yeah, but there's the storage unit back there,
Yeah.
where the body, portion of the body shop was. They have a tenant from the base that is renting that. And what they're doing is they're basically pre-building large airplane hangars. So they're putting together bigger pieces
Yeah,
that
I
get
saw all the
transported.
parts laying there in the parking lot, and I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, so they're being transported from there to the base to be put together for airplane hangars. They're just a short-time tenant. I believe they'll only be in there for, I believe they said 8 to 12 months, and then they'll be gone, which is about the same time that the building would come down for the townhouses as well. you should be seeing those plans come before you in the next couple months.
And what about the Bell building itself? Just part of it's been rented out for the exercise, or?
Actually, no, none of the building has been rented. The sign that you see on the gate, it's, I can't even think the name of them. Basically, they have a bunch of exercise bikes and they move from location to location to location. They used to go right back here behind the hotel and they would do their spin class and elsewhere. So they're just kind of using the parking lot gated area now. They're not inside the building.
Yeah,
As
but
of
they're
right-
just storing them in there then?
Yeah, as of right now, they don't have any tenants for the front of the building, but they're looking very hard for good tenants to go in there. So hopefully they'll find somebody and it'll be a long time staple business in Leonardtown. So if you know anybody who's looking for space, by all means, send them.
Put my Irish pub in there.
There you go. There you go. So I did hear there's another brewery that has its eye on Leonardtown. They're called Independent Variable Brewing. So it might be worth maybe somebody reaching out to them and saying, hey, there's space available in Leonardtown. So I know that LBA has been working very hard to try to attract new businesses as well.
Okay, any other comments?
I'm good on all of the permits.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay.
Thank you.